welcome you all to this session of Amrita Café. A real pleasure to have you all with us. Um, a good discussion always increases the dimensions of everyone who takes part in it. I'm Dr. Shauri Kotappa, and I'm an academic manager with Amrita Institutions. At Amrita Vidyapeetham, we aspire to join hands with institutions, parents, and guardians to provide value based education and mold the character of the younger generation through a system of wholesome learning. According to a recent United Nations report, the COVID 19 pandemic has created the largest disruption of education systems in history, affecting nearly 1.6 billion learners in more than 190 countries. Parents, guardians, and students are living through complexities in choosing the best options for themselves. Amrita Cafe aims at serving as a forum to table these challenges and explore solutions to cope with the current education scenario. Via Amrita Cafe, we aim to provide insightful information to usher transparency in and around education. I'd like to welcome today's panelist, Mr. Tarun Gupta. Mr. Tarun Gupta, welcome. Do tell us a little about yourself.
So, good evening, everyone. I am Tarun Gupta. I am Global Career Counselor from UCLA, as well as International Certified Career Coach from Mindler, which includes all stages, and Certified Career Analyst from Edu Milestone also. I am alumnus from PEC Chandigarh, a 90 batch mechanical. So, what aligns me so much with the Amrita University is the vision and mission of the university, wherein I have been doing JEE main mentoring for the last decade or more, and I am happy to see one university which is one of the best, in fact, the best private university, and so vision and mission are really enticing, and we are all into 21st century skills, and almost all new age careers are being harnessed here, and there is proper grooming, so it's really enticing to uh, look forward to this session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. For those of you just joining, welcome. In this capsule today, we are going to invest the next 30 to 40 minutes on looking at new age careers and 21st century skills. A recorded version of this webinar will be available on the Amrita Cafe YouTube channel. Mr. Gupta will throw some light on what a new age career can be and what skills are paramount to take advantage of these careers. In the discussion today, we will talk about these and its correlation to present changing times. We would love to have your queries on the topic. You're welcome to share your perspectives as well for discussion as the session unfolds. Based on the time at hand, we'll endeavor to include as many of these queries as possible. Please do include your names as well. Mr. Gupta, I would like to start from here. What really, are new age careers? When we're talking of new age careers, what are we actually talking about?
So when we talk about new age careers, we talk about unconventional careers. So when we talk about unconventional careers, I am reminded of a movie scene from Three Idiots, where there is a photographer in Farhan, and he is so much intimidated by his father, and the dialogue is "Abba nahi manenge," because he wants to be a photographer, but he is into a one engineering college, and so that is one thing wherein parents have their own aspirations, but the kids have their own passion and vision. So while we see in that movie also that Farhan does extremely well while he pursues his passion. So again, by this I would surmise and say that new age careers are those unconventional careers which earlier we were always into those conventional kind of stuff, like say humanities, like commerce, science, doctor, and all that stuff. Now, I think things have changed with the advent of technology, and hence this word new age career. And we have to be at top in context of 21st century skills to be really doing well and in congruence with new age careers. Thank you.
Taking that forward, then, what are such careers you would say that are, part of, let's say, for example, the PCM, physics, chemistry, maths, non-medical,
So
stream?
when we
What
say
careers?
non-medical, so it is like machine learning and artificial intelligence, data analytics, data science. So those who people who analyze huge volume of data. So the role requires analytical ability and all that. Ethical hackers. So those network experts looking for loopholes by attacking a computer, and then UX UI designers, robotics, aerospace, cybersecurity, blockchain engineers, game coders. So these are all the new age careers which pertain to PCM, non-medical.
Okay, okay. And you said, artificial intelligence.
Mhm.
How does one go about, like, for example, if someone wants to pursue a career in machine learning or something like that, where are the beginnings? How
So,
does one go about?
so the beginning is like, and in fact, I would like to tell you that even in Amrita, we have that foundation course of engineering which gives the credits to the students also. And so what happens while we talk about artificial intelligence and machine learning? So right now, kids are from the day one taking care of Python programming and other programming. So you need to be very strong in mathematical ability, standard mathematics, and then you should be hands-on in Python and all that. So it's good that you do all this stuff while you are in 11th and 12th. And so the application of these things subsequently helps us to the field which is called artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is learning through machines, and we are applying Python programming and our mathematical abilities in AI and ML.
Okay, okay. And what about the PCB medical stream?
So when we
Physics,
talk,
chemistry,
so when
biology, medical stream. Yes,
uh
please.
so when I talk about PCB stream, so we have bioinformatics, we have biotechnologists, we have biomedical. So we also have dietitians. So other than that, we have optometry, we have audiology, we have clinical research. So these are some of the careers which are associated with the PCB.
And what is the extent of awareness nowadays on these careers?
See, awareness is quite a bit. In fact, I was just going through one absolutely new piece in bioinformatics. And being a career coach, what I observed was that I find so many takers of bioinformatics in the field of PCB, wherein bioinformatics is, using many areas of computer science, mathematics, and engineering to process biological data. And so it is almost like an engineering, and there are machines which are used to read biological data at a rate much faster than earlier. So awareness is quite a bit, and I think students and kids, they want those unconventional careers. So hence, I think there is a positive deviation towards these careers.
And what about the commerce stream? Are there any new age careers in the commerce stream as well?
Yes, we have new age careers in commerce also. Like actuarial science is one which could be, one. Then we have budget analyst, we have auditing, we have tax consulting, wealth management, then investment analyst, entrepreneurship. So these are all the careers associated with commerce.
And is commerce, are these careers also picking up a lot of steam? Are they
Actually,
also in
see,
demand?
they are quite in demand. Let's say my very favorite example is actuarial science one, wherein you need to be proficient in mathematics. So it uses mathematics, stats, and financial theory to study certain events, and so it's used so much in insurance and pension programs. So you need a very deep understanding of mathematics and stats and business management. Similarly, I think entrepreneurship is another very prevalent example nowadays, where we know entrepreneurs are those people who take risk and set up new ventures. So I think even in commerce also, people are deviating from that standard league, and they want some different things to happen, and hence this change.
May I then just draw from your experience a little more on this on entrepreneurship? Now, the earlier way in which entrepreneur, if I remember about 15 years back, the way entrepreneurs were made is, the father sat the boy down or the girl down and passed on whatever he had learned, and, helped him sort of merge into a venture or something like that. So how has that changed today when entrepreneurs are now being sort of groomed in institutions?
Actually, what is happening is now I think we can start with the assessments also. So we get to know through RISEC theory about whether the child is enterprising or not. So one if the child is enterprising, so E comes there, and after that we have so many interest and skills and abilities perspectives which show that entrepreneurs are leaders. So this is assessments and obviously the choice of the student. So there are a lot many fields even in 10th 11th 12th we can pursue clever hardware programs. There are so many others also which groom us for entrepreneur or chief executive officer program or CFO program. So they are a kind of simulating models for the future entrepreneurs of the country or the world. It's like that. And obviously we have BBA entrepreneurship programs and other things that subsequently.
So the comparative is, how is this actually different from the the mentorship program that used to exist between first generation and a second generation, and how does an entrepreneurship program actually add value there?
See, earlier, I believe it was more of hit and trial actually. When father was doing certain business, so I think he had those learnings and he had those preconceived notions and all that. I'm not saying that was right or wrong, but now that with this new kind of learnings and programs, so the children are more adapt because it is experiential based, project based learning, and critical thinking and problem solving skills are getting involved. So I think it is more of risk free, and kids are able to take decision basis certain facts, basis certain data. So this is the difference now.
Thank you. And which brings me to the next thought. When we're talking about problem solving skills, so on and so forth, um, could you shed some light on what these 21st century skills are, what they could be?
So when I say 21st century skills, so they are those skills which are required to face the challenges of 21st century world, so that it can make us globally active, digitally transforming, collaborative, moving forward, creatively progressing. Like I'll just put these skills as mentioned by Wagner. So these are critical thinking and problem solving skills, collaboration and leadership, agility and adaptability, initiative and enterprising, effective oral and written communication, assessing and analyzing information. So these are the prime 21st century skills.
Um, and some thought on how a 21st century skill is actually being predicted. whenever organizations, institutions, or publications, when they try to predict a 21st century skill, could you shed a little light on how they actually go about it, so that students get a better view of it?
So when I talk about 21st century skills, and so let me go into the components of 21st century skills, and I'm happy to share that these skills are very much being taken care of at Amrita also. So we talk about the components of the skills, like we have three L's called learning skills, which are literally learning skills, literary and life skills. So then we have, as I mentioned, we have critical thinking, creativity and innovation, collaboration and communication. And then IMT, which is information literacy, media literacy, and technology literacy. And then FLIPS, which is flexibility, adaptability, leadership, responsibility, and social and cross-cultural interaction. So what is happening is, while earlier the students were more into rote learning, like if I take my example, so at my point of time, it was like I used to remember tables of 31 square and all that stuff. So I was so happy by rote learning. So now the shift is paradigm from the rote learning to conceptual learning. It's not mugging actually. So while I am good at these things, I am able to critical think, and I am doing things rationally with the help of these skills. So it is doing well for me. So this is how it is.
Yeah, and the thought is, why do we say that these skills are the ones which are going to be important in 21st century?
These are this. Okay, so these are the skills which are going to be important in 21st century, because see, while we have been thriving on traditional careers for time immemorial, so obviously, as I mentioned, rote learning has to be taken away. And as we always say, life is all about learning, unlearning, and relearning. So as long as we are, harnessing our skills, the new skills, which are 21st century skills, in alignment with the needs of new age careers, so it is helping us, remain visible in our careers of profession and all that. So that is why these skills are very much required.
Thank you. We are starting to get queries from participants across,
Okay.
and I thought I'll read one of them. Um, this is from an anonymous attendee, uh,
Okay.
and he or she says, or requests for some good career for medical student related to animals field. Some good career for
Mm-hmm.
medical student related to animals field.
Okay, so I think one, we already have veterinary sciences, which is already there. So other than that, as we have said, some of the careers which are related to medical field and not necessarily related to animals. So they are biotechnology, biomedical, then bioinformatics. These are all the new age careers, and so they can be suitably applied both on human beings as well as the animals also.
Yes, yes, and I think another side of it, not necessarily medical, but connected to animals, is I believe the rearing of animals is also
So
now becoming.
that's absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely. That's very, very valid point, right?
I hope we've addressed that query. Another query from again an anonymous attendee is, how to prepare ourselves for competitive exams like JEE/NEET.
Okay, okay. So there are two parts of it. Like I think so. When I say JE main slash NEET, So by that logic, I mean, I have taken both non-medical and medical. So I think I'll assume that I have only taken non-medical. So what I have to do is, first stage is I have to prepare for, I think, NCRT standard and NCRT exemplar. These are the two books which I have to be hands-on while it comes to preparation for JEE main exam. So I think as long as I am clearing NCRT exemplar, so it's almost catering to any competition in India. So this is one part. Then when I'm talking about JEE main, or for that matter even AEEE, or for that matter VIEEE, so I have to do the time management every day. I have to plan my day every day for the next 2 years, that I have to study effectively 5 hours per day. Fine. And other than that, once my 11th syllabus and almost after 11th, even say by October, my syllabus should be finished. And then I have to do the mock test series of JEE main. So it could be any good test series of JEE main by Ellen, or it could be anything from FITZY, anything like that. And I should be able to know how I am, faring, how I am competing with the world. So like that, and I should be able to attempt the right ones, make funnel which is right, and not attempt all the questions. So similarly, when I talk about NEET also, so NEET comprises of 360 marks of biology, and 180 marks each of chemistry and physics. So again, modus operandi of preparations remains same, that I have to take care of those books of standard and exemplar. So as long as my basics are clear, and I am doing this system religiously for the next 2 years, so at the end of the day, even in case of NEET also, I have to take care of those mock test series of Allens of the world, or it could be Chaitanya or whatever, so that I am abreast with whatever is happening. And I think I am ready for NEET also.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope the question is addressed. Um, a sort of something that I picked up from what you were just saying, and I found it very nice what you said. That we need to get involved in our own time management.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell us a little about this. What are the common challenges that you've seen that students face, and tell us a
So,
little.
so what is happening actually is that while I am transitioning my career from 10th to 11th, so I think I join an institute called Ellen or FITZY or whatever. So this is the Pankia for all else. So I always tell students that there has to be an effective time management, like the time which what you are spending at Ellens of the world. So that has to be separate. After that, you have to spend exclusive 6 hours per day on whatever is happening there. So as long as you are revising it every day, and then on the weekend you are focusing on either taking some mock test or some test, and then you are actually getting to know what is happening right and what is happening wrong. And then I think one more thing which is quite problematic nowadays is the addiction of mobile phones and all that. So I always request students, oh, please keep these mobiles away, because there is some infatuation. Many times I'm not getting proper focus. So the focus has to be very effective. Actually, I have to do so. Even if I am studying for 20 minutes or 25 minutes, so that is much more relevant than actually studying for 1 hour, and it is listless, and there is lack of concentration, just like that.
And how do you advise students, to sort of work on their concentration?
So by concentration, I always advise students to uh, play some of their favorite games every day for 1 hour, 2 hours. Let's say table tennis, let's say lawn tennis, because as long as you're able to concentrate even on a table tennis ball, it is, improving your power to focus. So while you are able to focus, on a ball and you play a good game, in the similar context, you do pretty well while you study. You call it physics, chemistry, or mathematics. So that improves your concentration manifold.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So going back to where we actually began from, we were on 21st century skills. Uh, what do you feel? Why do we need 21st century skills? I think you already told us about it. Why this thing, but where are one example, like you said, is pick up a game and it helps us improve our concentration. Where are the other areas where we can actually pick up or get involved in that will help us with our 21st century skills?
So, as I said, I think we have to transition from rote learning to the conceptual based learning, and learning is complete and holistic only when student is able to effectively perform, right? So, the idea is simply teaching a student to test or learning for exams is not going to help. So there are 21st century skills. So we are, through 21st century skills, we are empowering children to deal with issues which are actually concerning their life. So, and also there are some students with special needs, so they need some independent environment and all that. So whether it is home or it is at community level and all that. So I think in this case, I'll put a very relevant quote by Andrew Shastral, OECD Education Directorate. So he says, today, because of rapid economic and social change, schools have to prepare students for jobs that have not yet been created, technologies that have yet not been invented, and problems that we don't know but may arise. So I think 21st century skills are in a way uh, working like a helmet or like a protective mechanism to us to enable us being abreast with the challenges of new age careers, being able to harness our skills and be on top of what we are doing.
So, a very, very nice thought. The quotation that you shared, very, very nice and very deep. In fact, opens up another aspect for discussion. How do we actually prepare ourselves for something that has not been materialized yet? Yeah, or is probably might only materialize after 7 8 years. I think that's how much time it'll
That's
take
true.
by the time we are in the market or by the time we finish our education and get in there.
That's true. That's
So
true.
how do we predict, and how do we sort of accurate prediction may not always be possible. Yeah, but how do we, what is it that I can do on a daily basis that will help me get information or help me get more in tune of what's coming in the next 7 years?
Obviously, I think I have to be uh, whatever I am trying to pursue. So I have to regularly be in touch the skills which are required. And let's say if I am a data scientist, so I have to be hands on, and irrespective of the fact that I am getting a degree or I am getting a diploma or what. So I need to acquire those skills irrespective of the fact that I am getting a degree or a diploma. So actually, these are the skills which are more important. It's not the CGPA or, so as long as I am getting those skills and I am able to convert those skills into real tangible outcomes, so by that tangible outcome, I am able to know whether I am doing it right or not by the scores and all that stuff.
Thank you, thank you. I remember when we were young, one somebody once encouraged, he said, you must read the newspapers daily, you know
Absolutely.
Now I think the newspaper is pretty much on the tips of your fingers.
Right. You said it right.
Uh, yeah, and another aspect I felt that we could probably throw some light is on the aspect of coaching.
Okay.
Students today need coaches, guides in their lives. Maybe some, maybe professionals also, but when not readily available, they need coaches, they need guides right across in every stage of their lives. So, tell us something about the aspect of coaching.
So I'll share this with the help of an example. So I had a student whom he was doing his non-medical through LN and all. So and the parent was saying, I'm not doing well. The kid is not doing well. So I just did his psychometric assessment, and while I did his five-dimensional assessment, so what I got to realize was that the child was just going to PCM non-medical just for the heck of it, and he was actually meant for BBA. He was meant for finance. He had entrepreneurship and all that. So I think it was politely conveyed to the child and the parent, and there was a change in stream. And after that, it was the start of 12th, and then we made a roadmap. I made the child appear in IP mat, GIP mat, and other kind of these exams, VBA and all. And I think with the regular monitoring actually on the strengths of the child, and removing the weaknesses, and regularly monitoring the performance, which is like not only self improvement, but also how he or she is faring versus the rest of the crowd. You call it percentile. So that is how which this is really helping in the later stage. And then after that, you have to constantly encourage the child. If he is not doing well at some point of time, maybe it is one odd case, so next time he can do better. But then as a career coach, you need to know about the strengths of the child, and then you have to make a mechanism, you have to make a roadmap, so that for the next 1 year, what all activities he has to do and how to make it happen. That's it.
Tarunji, one common I've heard this query a lot of times, and I thought we'll just put it up for discussion. A lot of times people say that students, they choose something, then suddenly drop it, choose another thing, then pick up another third thing, and it just goes on and on like that. And sometimes it consumes a lot of time and even maybe resources in the process. So, your thoughts on how one aspect, of course, there are two sides of the coin. One side of the coin is you insist that the candidate finish whatever he or she starts. The other side of the coin is actually letting the candidate explore his or her strengths and switch if needed, make those choices. So, your thoughts on this?
So I think first of all, I think it also resonates with the children who have multiple intelligence. There are these are not all children. There are some children who are good in each and every field they try for. So this is one part wherein those students, whatever they do, they can really excel. But then the thing is, I think many times I find students quite fickle-minded. They choose one thing at one point of time, and after some time they find, okay, uh, I'm going to leave it and all that stuff. So in my opinion, probably till plus two, it is always good to maybe stick to a particular stream, but then in 10th you should go for a stream selector assessment. If you are not clear about what are the combinations you should go in for, you should go for a proper psychometric assessment, and you should have a proper regular discussion with your career coach, career counselor, as to what should be the right subject combo and all that. Because nowadays with this multidisciplinary kind of aspect in all curriculums, so there is a possibility that with PCM you can choose economics, you can choose psychology. So there are very healthy options available. So I think from the traditional kind of stuff to the nowadays kind of preposition, so we have the flexibility of choosing subjects now, and hence I think kids have wider choice.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, very true. And taking on the thread from what you just shared, about having a wider choice, very true. And also the multidisciplinary
Yeah,
aspect
yeah,
of how things are, where things are going.
right.
Can you tell us a little more about the multidisciplinary aspect of education?
So I think when we talk about multidisciplinary, I think we talk about these critical thinking, problem solving, all these skills, creativity, communication, collaboration. So they're being put in proper perspective, so that they enable students to adapt to new situations by effective problem solving preposition. And I think I am happy to share that even at Amrita University, we are preparing scientists and data experts with the high on learning agility and focusing on execution and soft skills, and with the good quantitative backgrounds. So I think it is basically harnessing the intellectual curiosity, effective communications, then improving the adaptability, and as I said, perseverance to carry on projects from start to finish. It's not that you're choosing a stream, you're finding something hard, and then you are leaving it in between. And then ability to think critically in a very complex situation. So these are the things which are quite important.
Thank you. Thank you so much. As we come towards the end, I thought it would be a good idea to, think about how we actually compare new age careers with traditional careers. Are they really comparable? How do we actually compare these two?
Actually, in fact, as you have already mentioned, they are not really comparable because uh, it is almost like earlier we used to think about those only doctor, only engineer, all those kind of careers. And now a student comes to me and says, okay, I want to be a app designer. I want to be a YouTube blogger and all that. So I think earlier the mindset was how it can happen. You are not proficient in your area. So this is, you concentrate on your main subjects. But now the mindset has to be, okay, are you good in YouTube blogging? Or you want to be a good blogger? You want to be a content writer? So we have to pave the way. We have to make things happen for those children so that they are able to acquire those skills and those so-called, जिसमें what we say, uh, wrong is right. So when I say new age careers, it also syncs with wrong is right, and making wrong the right has to be with the help of this facilitation method and so-called unconventional careers. And when we talk about conventional careers, we have roadmaps clear, we have roadmaps ready, and we can follow that with proper coaching and all that stuff. So that goes without saying.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And in your opinion, what would you think? Would this actually lead to job cutting or underemployment or, something like that?
So actually, there is always a confusion that this may lead to job cutting, and it happens also because when we are pursuing those old traditional careers, so there are job losses. But then when we are harnessing our skills in terms of 21st century and applying those skills in terms of new age careers, called, you call it artificial intelligence, you call it data science, data analytics and all that, and then we are like, making us proficient in those areas, we are keeping abreast with the technology, and we are getting employment there. So hence, while there is unemployment at one point of time in case of traditional careers, but then with the advent of time and with the demand of the situation, we are getting employment in the other areas which matter more. So in a way, I will say there is no job cutting. In fact, uh, there is going to be a positive situation.
Can you give us an example?
For example, actually, when we say, I think robotics. So earlier, I am a supply chain management consultant per se. So, so when we applied robotics in our warehouse, so the initial hiccup was okay, manpower is getting reduced and all that stuff. But with the passage of time, what we made was that all the people who were doing this robotics kind of automation and all that, so it was leading employment at that point of time. And then we made our own people in the warehouse, so they were also given those additional skills, so that they were in alignment with the new technology. And hence once they got that skills, so they were also not underemployed. So they had to harness those new skills and get employment as per the new paradigm. So that is one example I can cite, and similarly we have so many examples.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Um, and then again, brings me back to a thought of what could be the top 10 new age careers to watch out for.
Okay, I think we have discussed. So primarily bioinformatics, we have already discussed. Data scientist is another prominent example we have talked of. Then UI UX designer is another very well thought of, and I think wherein the designer creates the interface for the best user experience, and it is for a mobile application or a website. Then we have digital marketing specialist, social media influencer, YouTuber, then blockchain engineers, social media managers. Then we have online advertising managers, artificial intelligence we have discussed, professional gamers, food stylists. So these could be the real enticing new age careers.
Uh, we've heard a lot about influencers and YouTubers. Could you tell us a little more about if you want to actually take up these as a career, what are the things you should actually acquire before you get into this?
So I think when we talk about social media influencing, it is one of the most lucrative new age careers. So here people must have a passion for social media. So these people love creating their own content, and they are their own bosses. So a YouTuber or a social media influencer is one who is paid to market for companies through their social media handles and blogs. So they get money in terms of the footfalls they get through their efforts on social media. And then the companies, they are paying these influencers to use their products, and then they give their honest reviews, and they give ads to their audience to increase sales. So this is one aspect of YouTuber, and this is really a skill job.
So what do I need to study to become a
So,
YouTuber, for example?
so it is more through my own hands-on training and all that. So I think there are no proper courses, but maybe we can go through some Coursera or other things. And as of now, I'm yet to find some proper course. And if I come across one, I'll let you know. But I think it's more of like, I think for other things also. So
Thank you. Yes, thank you. And what are the major outcomes of 21st century skills?
so when we talk about major outcomes of 21st century skills, so they are also almost same as we have discussed earlier also. So these are critical thinking, these are problem solving skills, creativity and innovation, then collaboration, communication, information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy, flexibility and adaptability, leadership and responsibility, initiative and self-direction, and productivity and accountability. So these are the outcomes which are accrued on account of 21st century skills as the outcomes.
Um, could you, Tarunji, could you tell us a little more about communication skills? We hear this a lot nowadays, and it's getting a lot of focus. Could you tell us a little more about this?
So when we say communication, so it is communicating more effectively. So basically it is communicating more effectively. So we have to be in listening mode. We have to many times whatever we are listening, so we have to concentrate and listen and then communicate. So it is more to do, we have to communicate clearly. So it means effective oral and written non-verbal communication in a variety of forms and diverse social, cultural, and linguistic contexts. So listening effectively means listening with all concentration, then using communication for a variety of purposes, and then using different forms of medias and technologies to know their effectiveness. So this is how we think about, talk about when we say communication and communicate clearly.
Thank you. Um, Before we conclude, I thought a discussion on NEP 2020 and how it connects with the 21st century skills, was kind of relevant before we close. So, in your opinion, what is the correlation between NEP 2020 and the 21st century skills?
NEP 2020 is meant to ensure holistic development of students. So NEP 2020 has been built in such a way that syllabus could be reduced and focus should be on fundamentals. And national curriculum framework, it endeavors to make learning integrated, interdisciplinary, fun-based, and complete experience. So NEP 2020 ensures holistical development of learners, where we have to advance our students with 21st century skills. So 21st century skills, as NEP 2020 also puts, is critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, curiosity, and communication. Hence, NEP 2020 brings in a reduction in curriculum content to enhance essential learning and critical thinking, and emphasis to be given to remove language barriers in order to achieve better results in learning. So this is a pure correlation between NEP 2020 and 21st century skills.
Thank you so much. I think uh, we've actually brought out a lot of information in the last 40-45 minutes on what are futuristic careers, futuristic skills, what's coming in the future, what these 21st century skills can actually be, and how to develop them, and what they're going to give us in the forthcoming years. As mentioned earlier, Amrita Cafe aims at serving as a forum to table challenges and explore solutions to cope up with the current education scenario. Please do write to us at Amrita. Contact details have been made available. We would love to hear from you on areas that may be included in forthcoming sessions of Amrita Cafe, where we aim to provide insightful information to usher transparency in and around education. I'd like to take us towards the close of this session today by thanking all of you for your presence and your views, which will be compiled. Tarunji, any concluding thoughts?
So I think thank you for giving me an opportunity to present this topic of new age careers and 21st century skills. And so this raised a new vista for me, and I am happy to add one more thing here, that at Amrita University, you talk of a new age career, and we have it per se in engineering. So we have got the machine learning, artificial intelligence, we have got data analytics, we have got cyber security. So we have got almost everything. We have got blockchain technology. We have got even content writing we have. So I think almost all the things in the world, so Amrita University has it. So while I was just glancing through these notes, so I was finding Amrita University in alignment with the new age careers. And then when I was also talking about critical thinking and all those skills, so I was finding them, and there were so many initiatives by Amrita University. You call it humanitarian huts or a Machi program, wherein robotics was being applied. So I think it was a very healthy and positive kind of uh, reading for me also. And so this is my feedback on new age careers and 21st century skills, particularly in context of Amrita University as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tarun Gupta. Thank you so much for being with us today at Amrita Cafe to share your insights. I would also like to highlight the efforts of the team behind Amrita Cafe, Parvati and Sakshi, who have made things possible and seamless. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Have a good day.
Thank you so much.